few days ago I was up in the lower valley in Blaengarw photographing some of the streams and the little weirs around there, speaking to one of the locals, and he told me about some beautiful lakes at the top of the valley. So I come up this morning. It's a bit cloudy at the moment, but we come up this morning to try and do some lovely landscape photography, also to show you how these big stoppers work. A lot of people use them, but let's have a look at them and see them actually work in practice. Got up a rough track at the moment, probably 3/4 of a mile up to where we're going, and get up, we'll have a look around, get the gear out, explore the area and see what sort of areas we're looking for, what composition I'm after. Just up the little track of a half a mile. It looks as though it's a very, very steep valley, very, very tight valley. Lake on the right, yeah, the lake's on the right hand side. Little path here, so we're going to stop here. We're not going to go in excess with a 4x4, go damaging tracks. We're allowed to come up this particular track. Wow, what a lovely sight. Right, okay, first things first, switch off, get the gear out, well, have a wander around and then look for some beautiful compositions. Yeah, so the first thing we do now is get the equipment out, get the bag on my back, have a wander around. The sun's coming out, it looks a beautiful morning, and let's get out and do some work. Well, the sun is coming up within 3 minutes of leaving the car. It's just peeing over the top of the mountain. I'm going to have a little walk around. There are some bulrushes around. There are some stones. Those stones look quite interesting. Not quite what I want, but could be useful. So let's carry on. Let's have a look around here. Minutes, the sun has come up. It's looking a glorious morning. It's quite reflective on the water. I think just during looking at it, I think I'll go for a shot from the end looking back up. But if you look around the water, there's some absolutely beautiful reflections at the moment. But let's take a walk around and let's see what we're going to pick up. But what a glorious morning to come out. But as I started saying, with some of the South Wales valleys, or any valley really, the wording is used in all your photographic magazines about the early morning light, late night light. The difficulty in some of these valley areas is that you get deep shadows. Early morning sunlight sometimes will give you a lot of dark shadows. So if you look on the left hand side here, you'll see that the mountain there is quite light, but as I swing around to the right, you're in deep shadow. So we just need to, before we do the photography, sit back, maybe get set up and have a look and wait for the light. Yeah, we've got a small stream here we're going to cross in a minute, but if you take a look around behind you, you can now see that the view looks absolutely tremendous, but not what I'm looking for this photography. Very isolated, very rural. You've got a lot of wind turbines which are springing up all around South Wales. And as we come back around to the left, we've got a lot of deep shadow. There's a small little feature here of a couple of stones, a little brook there. I mean, if you want to do some macro photography, you can get in quite close, get in very, very low, and get some interesting shapes, textures, tones. You've got new leaves just breaking through because it's early sort of spring, summertime. Yeah, okay, let's carry on and let's go further on, because again, I think I should up the valley into this area here. And we just wait for the light to come round. You can see now from the actual view itself that the landscape is changing. I'm going to go down by these little bulrushes and get a couple of close, maybe not so much close-up shots, but shots with maybe possibly a 200mm lens. That will identify the bushes, make them stand out. The water is very, very calm. I'll probably use the big stopper as well, and that will give us a different effect. But when you're using different filters, you need to be careful, because sometimes if you use slow shutters, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, you probably find that you will lose the reflections. But we'll show you exactly what happens when we start doing that. So let's go down a bit lower down. Be careful, some ducks taken off, but natural wildlife. And what a glorious location. Okay, we got the rushes. Let's have a look at these and let's have a look at these and see how they look from a low viewpoint. Yeah, it has potential. We could get some lovely shapes. It's still got a lot of reflections in the water, and we've got the ducks in the background, but we forget the ducks. Let's put the 200mm lens on. Let's have a look at the rushes, and then we'll change over to the 14mm wide angle lens and try and get the whole valley in, and that will be a wow factor. And then we start putting our filters in. Right, so let's get my bag out, get the tripod out, let's get cracking. On a photo shoot, I usually bring a few lenses, but it depends on what I'm shooting. But this morning I've got my 14 to 24 Nikon wide angle lens, and I have my Sigma 70 to 200. So I'm just going to do a couple of very, maybe not even a couple of shots, but just do a couple of quick shots with the 200 or those rushes. But I'm pretty confident that it's not really what I want. But we can show you how the actual transformation comes. I'm going to hand hold this for a moment, just see a bit of time and have a quick look around. Okay, cards formatted. We're 100 ISO. We're on raw file and ready to go. Yeah, lovely reflections here. Okay, I'm on 500, on 5/6 of a second at 325. Okay, nice pretty shots, not what we want. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to go back to the original position and get the wide angle lens out. Well, that wasn't particularly successful, but again, nice little picture. Not going to waste my time there. Get the main reason come up here, and I get some quality wide span landscape photography done. Swap these lenses over, and then we'll be away. Yeah, the thing is, I'm a professional photographer, been self-employed since 1984. But there's no reason to say that if you come up here with your family on your smartphone, you can't take some beautiful pictures of the scenes. And later on, we will be showing some how to actually use your smartphone effectively and do some lovely pictures. So you're not having to spend hundreds or thousands of pounds on equipment, but you just get sheer pleasure of being in a beautiful location like this one here in South Wales, or even in the countryside anywhere where you live in. Wow, this is a view to kill for through the wide angle lens. Wow, let me just shoot a little bit of video. Yeah, you can see the sun's coming out, it's capturing the background. Yeah, this wide angle lens just gives you that wow factor, without a doubt. But okay, we're shooting what we can actually see through the camera. Let's show how we can now improve the shot by putting on a couple of filters. The system I use is the leaf filters. Bit expensive, only because I've got the 14mm wide angle lens, and they take the 150mm filter. If you're using a longer lens or not such a wide angle, then you can get away with smaller filters. Let's get them out the bag, let's put them on the camera. First off, it will be a polarizer. I will show you how that works, and then we work our way through it. The filter system comes individually. And to be honest, I tend to cheat a little bit, because that's a holder. The holder that fits onto the 14mm lens, I tend to leave it on there permanently, only because it saves time fitting it and screwing it on, screwing it off. I can simply put my lens cap on the outside, and then simply by putting the filter holder on, you just slide it on. Undo the little thumb screw, and that's it. Your filter is on. Filter holder is on. First one I'm going to use now is a polarizer, and they come in various containers. And obviously you need to be very careful with these, because the last thing you want are finger marks on them. By lifting up, you can see where the polarizer effect is. I'm just going to slide it in so we can turn it on. You can see how it works then. Right, that's a polarizer in, and if I rotate it, you can then see how it actually picks up on the reflection on the sky, and you can decide where you want to position it. I think we'll keep it just there, so we kill the reflection in the water, adjust the angle slightly. Right, okay, we've got the polarizer on. Before I put the big stopper in, because it goes very dense and you won't see through the screen, I'm going to put my shutter release cable on, pre-focus, set the camera manual, and then we can look at the gauge and reset the actual exposure and the aperture we want. Interestingly enough, when the sun is out, you get some magnificent reflections. If you think about it logically, the water is continually moving. You put your big stopper in front of your lens, the water keeps moving, but it could have a detrimental effect on your reflections, because it makes all the reflections merge into one. Whereas if you use the shot without the big stopper, you get crisp, clear reflections. I will try and illustrate this when the sun comes back out this morning. But first things first, set the camera manual, lens on manual, camera bodies on manual, set the focus in. Set the focus in right. Okay, camera showed me 100 ISO, shutter speed of 100, aperture 5.6. And put the aperture up to f8 to give a bit more depth of field. And that means now the shutter speed now is dropped down to a 50th. We're all set, ready to fit that big stopper. Cable releases are easily obtainable. Get them from your local camera dealer, get them online. You can get pure small little silver metal one for, I don't know, £6, £7, £8. Spend a bit more on them. This directly links into the camera. I think it's about the £30 mark. But it gives you the opportunity then to take shots without any movement at all. The other thing with these big stoppers is, because you are shooting for such long shutter speeds, I tend to fetch a little cloth with me, and this tends to go over the back of the camera, so it covers the eyepiece and stops any light from creeping in from behind the camera. This is a leaflet that gives you the shutter speed in relation to your camera once you fit the big stopper. There's 3 different types. This is what I mean by 150mm. It's quite large, and on the back of it you have your rubber edger, which stops the light from creeping through in the lens, and this fits on the inside bracket within the leaf filter range. Stiff to put in. The camera's pre-focused. Exposure is not set yet because we have to follow the chart. And we just check this through again. Okay, yeah, exposure is 50th of a second at f8. Slide this in. Before I slide this down, you will find that you won't see a thing through the lens. So let me just show you exactly what I mean. You can now see the picture through the polarizer. That's position, the camera's focused. I'm just going to slide on the big stopper, and then you see the picture will just go blank. And reading this guide off, it says a 50-second exposure will go to roughly like 15 seconds. So I'll do some shots of 15 seconds. I think it's probably going to be near a 20, even 25 seconds, because it alters quite a bit with the actual polarizer on as well. And the other useful thing is I photographed that and got on my phone, so if I did happen to lose it or blow away, I've just got a record. Okay, we're now on a 15-second exposure at f8, handheld, shutter cable and everything just ready. All we do now is just blank off the light, stray light at the back. Take a picture. I mean, at the moment we actually lost the sun now, and the mountain is looking quite grey, quite shadowy. But this is just to give an idea of how to use these filters. I will stay here for maybe an hour and a half, just waiting for that sunlight to come through until we get the shots that I particularly want. I mean, the sky is a bit overcast, but you're getting breaks of cloud, so you will get the sun breaking through. You just got to be patient. The shutter speed is too slow. Well, that means that we've got a very, very dark image, despite what the settings shown on that big stopper. So that's given me a 15-second exposure. I now extend to 30 seconds, and that will even lighten the picture up enormously. But of course, don't forget, it will blur a lot of the images for the actual reflections. Just stand back away for 30 seconds. This is a nice part, because although we've, I know exactly what I'm going to get. I know at the moment this particular shot is going to be overcast and cloudy, and this is just to illustrate what you want. But you get a huge buzz of excitement when you know you're going to get that picture right. And if you're not sure, you bracket the exposure. Composition wise, I'm not going to get the whole valley in, the sky in behind me. Again, bit of cloud up there, so it's not very blue this morning. But hey, doesn't matter. We sit around and we wait until the cloud comes through. Right, yeah, now this is a huge improvement, a massive improvement, and this is getting to what we want. So I'll just sit tight, wait for a bit of cloud to break, and then reshoot. Little things to consider. Filters can add to your picture, but you can also produce some lovely images without having to use filters. It depends what you want from it. And you can set your composition up in many, many different ways, from different angles, different viewpoints. And hey, who's to say what's right, what's wrong? It's what you want as a photographer. It's the image that you want to portray will give you the successful image. If you only get the big picture on the wall and it's black and white, fine. Somebody else will shoot only in colour, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. You may want to come up here at autumn time or when the snow is around, it'll transform your pictures again. So who's to say what's right and wrong? The exciting part in landscape photography is get out there, go and do it, thoroughly enjoy yourself, and then sit back with a glass of wine in your home and enjoy the image on your wall.